Okay guys, so I got midnight in the shop tonight. I've been having an issue with it. I've been talking about this for a while. I think I got it figured out. This was my issue. Now this is an oxygen sensor, O2 sensor. This is actually on bank 2. Sensor 1 was the issue. Okay, so I've got a little diagram here. Shows the motor and shows the pistons, what they are. And you can see over here the number 1 piston is on this side. So this is bank 1. Now the number 2 piston is on this side. So this is bank 2. So when they say bank 1 and bank 2, this is what they're referring to. The one that starts with the number 1 piston and the one that starts with the number 2 piston. I picked myself up a new OBD2 Bluetooth reader. One of those that you can use a torque program with. I actually picked up a nicer one, a lot nicer one. It wasn't very cheap at all, but it's a nicer reader. It shuts off and stuff so it don't drain power, so you can leave it plugged in. And it doesn't have the generic 1, 2, 3, 4 deal where people can actually get in there and you know, mess with your computer. So it's more secure than the generic kind. I left my one in one of the trucks I sold, so I lost it, so I had to get a new one. So I picked up a better one. So far I'm pretty happy with it. There's a learning curve on it because it's a new program, so I'm kind of having trouble because I'm trying to learn how to run the program and find the problem, and it's kind of hard to do that, but I am learning it. I think you can use this reader with the torque program. Problem is my tablet died on me that I had my torque program on, and all I've got is my phone right now. So I actually downloaded the app that comes with the reader. So I've been using that, and like I said, it's a learning curve. It's kind of been causing me some trouble trying to figure it out, but I got it figured out, I think. Okay guys, so I've got my app here connected, my OBD2 reader, Bluetooth readers down there. Hopefully I got enough light here to show you a little bit of this program. I don't know much of it yet. I've been kind of working with it, trying to figure it out, but it's kind of like the torque program. You can do a lot of the same stuff. The diagnostics are the trouble codes, which I've cleared those. I had a O2 sensor code, and then you've got freeze frame, data, and again I think when I erased the trouble codes, the freeze frame, because I had one freeze frame. And then the dashboard here, this is what I use to diagnose my O2 sensors. You can see there's O2 sensor 1, then you've got bank 2 sensor 1. This one here should say bank 1 sensor 1. I'm gonna fire the truck up so you can . think I gotta, can't be in there when we start it. Actually, I think I've lost my connection. I have. They want me to register this product. Okay, here's how I found out my oxygen sensor was messed up. You can see the two sensors in the center are the oxygen sensors. You can see they jump up, they go 80 some down to 0.1 and less, 80 and 0.1 and less. They jump up and down, and if you put that on a graph, it'll make a wave pattern. I'm not sure how to do graphing on this program yet, but it should make a nice wave. That's what an oxygen sensor should do. I've got a new AC Delco oxygen sensor in there, so everything appears to be working now. When I had a bad sensor, bank 2 sensor 1 was stuck on 0.3. It was 0.36 and it would go to 0.32 and stuff, but it was stuck on that. It wouldn't move no matter what I did. It was doing that, and yeah, it just wouldn't move. And then like a flip of a switch, it would start working again. And then after a little while, another flip of the switch and it would stop working again, and the oxygen sensor would get stuck. But just because you see something on your oxygen sensor like that doesn't necessarily mean it is the oxygen sensor. Just because you see something wrong with the oxygen sensor, guys, doesn't mean it is the oxygen sensor. Sometimes it's just showing you that there's a problem somewhere else, and the oxygen sensor is actually picking it up. I actually changed bank 1, sensor 1. I changed that oxygen sensor because when I was plowing, something got under the truck and damaged that, so I changed that out already. And then when I seen this, I got another one for the bank 2 sensor 1. That's the most important sensor. The other sensor behind the cat doesn't do a whole lot for as far as how the truck runs. So the important ones are the first ones in the exhaust system. But anyway, guys, this thing with 260,000 miles, I think that O2 sensor was original. Really not a bad idea to replace them. The AC Delco one was 44 bucks, so they're not cheap. But when you have a bad oxygen sensor or a slow oxygen sensor, because they slow down with time, all the heat cycles, with good oxygen sensors, your vehicle's going to run better. You're going to get better fuel economy. It's just a win-win situation if you have a really, really old oxygen sensor to replace that. Okay, guys, a few tips on getting those oxygen sensors out of your exhaust system. Most of them have been there for a really long time. They are a little stubborn to come out. So what I like to do is get my little mini torch out. I get that and I will heat the area around the bung that holds the oxygen sensor in. I like to heat that area up really good. Takes a little while with this little torch to get everything warm, but this is small, easy to crawl under there and heat it up. And this has worked on all my stuff. I would imagine it'd have to be something pretty bad for this not to work, to need a full-size torch. Another thing, once you get that area nice and warm, 22 millimeter Wrench is what I use along with a hammer. And I use the manual impact method on oxygen sensors. I'll put my wrench on the sensor, take my hammer and tap the wrench to bust the oxygen sensor loose. So the truck's been running pretty good actually since the new oxygen sensor. I haven't had any issues. I was thinking that maybe I had a plugged up catalytic converter. I thought, you know, because this thing's got 260,000. I believe it needs intake gaskets, so it is running probably a little richer than it should. So that's not good for the cats. It's not good for the cats to be running rich because they get plugged up. Another thing, I was smelling a stinky cat, but I think the problem is I was getting a lot of fuel inside that cat. I wasn't getting it warm enough because the truck wasn't running good enough for me to drive it around. I wasn't getting the cat warm enough to actually burn all that extra fuel out of it. But now that I've got it running good, I've actually you know, gone to town a few times with it. I drove all the way back from town in third gear to get the RPMs up and get those cats nice and hot. And I did smell it again, but I haven't smelt it since. So I just got that cat really, really warm to help clean it out. But I think what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to redo the exhaust system on this truck. I'm going to get new, probably some new MagnaFlow stainless cats for this thing. And then I'm going to run a new dual exhaust all the way out. Right now I just got it kind of dumped under the bed. Don't really like that. So I think I'm going to run myself a nice exhaust system. Dual exhaust out the sides on the rear. But that's another video, guys. Hopefully this helps some people out there figure out what their issue is. This wasn't really that bad, except for trying to learn a new program. But anyway, guys, hopefully, like I said, this helps some people out on their issue. I guess I'll see you guys.